Now, these arpeggios, see, note, as we talked about with the scale, the bebop scale, that notes naturally resolve downwards, right? So to get back up, you can go back up the scale the same way you went down. But that's a way to build tension. A way to do it, another way to do it, let's say, is to use arpeggios to get back up once we run out of notes. All right? Now the arpeggios start on 3, 5, and flat 7. They don't start on the 1. They start on 3, 5, and flat 7. Okay? The note function for the 3 start is 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1. 3, 5, flat 7, 9, and then the 9 resolves to the 1. All right? Which will sound like 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1. You hear it conclude on the 1. Da, ba, da, ba, ba. Now I'll show you how to play it in a second.
Okay.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, so the note function formula for the one starting on the 3 for the C7 bebop arpeggio ascending is 3, 5, flat 7, 9, resolving to 1. The note function, this is for your recording. The note function formula for the one starting on the 5 is 5, flat 7, 9, 11, resolving to 3. And the one starting on flat 7 is flat 7, 9, 11, 13, resolving to 5. Now, you understand that 2s, 6s, 2s, 11, 2s, 4s, and 6s are the same thing as 9s, 11s, and 13s, right?
Yeah.
So that the note in this case in C that's 2 is D, right?
Yeah.
D is also 9.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 9. The 4, which is F, is sometimes 4, sometimes 11. The 6, which is A, is sometimes 6 and sometimes 13. And so that begs the question, well, why is it sometimes 2, sometimes 9, sometimes this, sometimes that? The answer to that question is that if the note is how it's functioning in the line. If the note is functioning as a connector, for example, if you're connecting 1 to 3 with a 2, and I'm just going, or 3 back to 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, then that note is a 2. If it's part of an arpeggio or functioning as a chord tone in the line, you call it a 9. That's what differentiates a 2 and a 9 and a 4 and an 11 and a 6 and a 13. If it's functioning as a connector, it's a 2, 4, 6. If it's actually functioning as a chord tone, it's 9, 11, 13. Now you'll see what that actually is. All right, you might say, well, I don't know whether it's functioning as a chord tone or not, but you will as we work through this. Okay.
Okay.
Right. But just know that that's the rule on why you would call it a 9 as opposed to a 2. All right. Now, can you see me clearly?
I can.
Okay. Now, as with the triads, these arpeggios have a left, center, and right side position. They also have a 2 and 1 string combination. All right. But the three string version of this is going to have a left, center, and right side position, just like the triads. All right, which means we're going to start the 3 version with the first finger on note function number 3, 7th fret on the A string. All right, so you have right side position. Watch my left.
Yep.
3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1, center. 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1, left. 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1.
Okay.
All right, so you want to just be able to very comfortably 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1. Okay, right side position, note function number 5. 5, flat 7. Watch it a couple times.
Yeah.
5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3. 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3. Center position. 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3. Make sure you call out numbers when you practice this. Okay, so that's center position.
Mm-hmm.
Left side position. Start with the fourth finger.
Okay.
5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3. So with the fives, like the 3, you want to be able to like just practice going in between the 3 of them. 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3. 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3. 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3. And the reason to learn them in these 3 different positions is you never know where you're going to be in a line.
Yeah.
So bass players, because of the nature of the fret, and I'm sure guitar players have to do the same thing, is that generally you have to learn how to play stuff 3 different ways, or should practice things 3 different ways, especially in an improvisational sense, because you never know where you're going to be in that moment, to where if you can grab something without having to unnecessarily shift, the chances of the line being smoother and more musical are better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what you do is you get your muscle memory and your musical instincts honed to just make these choices almost by themselves. You don't have to think about them. This stuff gets ingrained to where your hands just know where to go as you hear sounds. In the same way your mouth knows how to move when you talk. All the complexity of the mouth, tongue, lips, and all that stuff, I mean, I mean, bass playing pales in comparison to what you have to do physically when you talk to somebody. It's not even close. And you think of what you're able to do with that. See, the perfect analogy for improvising is a conversation with somebody. Because you're improvising with the words to get your message across, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not inventing new words.
Right.
Right? You're using the same old words that everybody's used forever. But you're always saying them in a way that's uniquely you at that moment. It's the same thing with this stuff. You get all this stuff ingrained so that when you start making these choices, ultimately you want to hear sounds and your hands just know where to go. So that's what we're training. That's what we're doing now is training, is in the training for that process.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work in a day. It's stuff that you,
It's
one
not-
time, it's stuff, you know, you remember stuff that you can play easily now that at one time was like, oh man, I'll never get this. And now it's like nothing.
Okay.
All right. All right, so right side position starting on the flat 7. Flat 7, 9, 11, 13, 5. Right side. Flat 7, 9, 11, 13, 5. Center. Flat 7, 9, 11, 13, 5. Left side.
Okay.
So you want to own these guys. So just, you know, put them in a rotation sequence. Don't worry about getting them by the next lesson. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm just asking you to start, have them in the rotation and get familiar with this information just like you did the triads.
Okay.
So when you start doing these lines, you're going to go up on the arpeggios. 3, 5, flat 7, A. 3, 2, 1, A, flat 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, A, flat 7, 9, 11, 13, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, A, flat 7, 6, 5, 9, 5, flat 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 1, A, flat 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So you're just going to bounce up and down on these things. So you
Wow.
keep the lines just going and going and going. I call it the Energizer exercise.
Yeah.
Just keeps going like the Energizer buddy. Just so you get to where you do, you know.
Yeah.
And we'll start connecting.
You're
It's
making.
cool. It's cool stuff and it works, man. It's just, you know, you got to sit down and work on it, yeah, but it'll work. This, you know,
Somewhere along the line, it starts to come together, and you can.
we're learning vocabulary. We're learning vocabulary is what we're doing. We're also working on controlling note function numbers rhythmically, which again I say is the key to a good line. In the same way you control how your words fall in a certain order to make sense when you talk to somebody, the way it works in the language of music is what goes where in the rhythm, and to be able to control that. Languages follow a logical progression of events in order to work. Music is no different.
Yeah.